An atom consists of protons, neutrons and electrons in it. Among these three, protons and neutrons are present inside the nucleus at the center of atom. Electrons will be revolving around to the nucleus. Atomic number means number of protons present in an atom. Letter to represent atomic number is Z. Atomic number is the identity of an element, meaning if we are recognizing something as carbon, it means there are 6 protons in it. If we are recognizing something as sodium, it means there are 11 protons in it. This very identity for an element comes because of the number of protons present in it. It is a unique property because no two elements can have same Z. During a chemical reaction, atomic number won't change. Chemical reaction is all about disturbing electrons. We never touch protons or neutrons present inside the nucleus during a chemical reaction. Mass number means number of protons plus number of neutrons. Letter to represent mass number is A. If we want to find out number of neutrons, then we just have to do A minus Z. That is, number of protons plus number of neutrons minus number of protons give us number of neutrons. During a chemical reaction, mass number won't change. Again, for the same reason, in a chemical reaction, we only disturb electrons and not the protons and neutrons present inside the nucleus. To represent an element with atomic number and mass number, we use symbol like this or like this. All the time, atomic number Z will be mentioned as a subscript either on the left hand side of the element symbol or on the right hand side of the element symbol. Mass number A is always sit as a superscript on the left hand side of the element symbol. Isotopes means elements with same Z and different A. Same Z means number of protons remains same. Different A means two isotopes will be having different number of neutrons in it. Example, carbon 12, carbon 14. The moment we call this element as carbon, we know that Z for this is 6. Carbon 12 is having 12 minus 6, 6 neutrons. Carbon 14 is having 14 minus 6, 8 neutrons. Earliest attempt in the history of periodic table is classifying the then known elements into metals and non-metals. Limitation of this approach is it had no place for metalloids. Metalloids means elements which are having the properties of both metals and non-metals. Another attempt in the history of periodic table is Dobereiner's triads. Observe the year he worked, 1780 to 1849. Dobereiner classified the elements in the increasing order of their atomic masses into groups of 3 elements called as triads. In each triad, atomic mass of the middle element was approximately equal to the average atomic mass of the other 2 elements. Let us consider an example. Lithium, sodium and potassium if I take, atomic mass of lithium is 6.9, sodium is 22.9 and potassium is 39. Sodium atomic mass is the average of lithium and potassium atomic masses, meaning 39 plus 6.9 divided by 2 if I make, I will get 22.95. That is nothing but approximate atomic mass of sodium. In the same manner, atomic mass of strontium is average of atomic mass of calcium and barium. Atomic mass of bromine is average of atomic mass of chlorine and iodine. Though it was successful with 3 set of triads, this approach also had a limitation. All the then known elements could not be arranged into triads. For this reason, they have dismissed this theory as coincidence. Next attempt was from scientist Newland and he named it as Newland's law of octaves. Years he worked was 1837 to 1898. In 1865, Newland classified the elements in the increasing order of their atomic masses into groups called as octaves, like the notes of music. He noted that when elements are arranged in the increasing order of their atomic masses, every eighth element had properties similar to that of the first element, and he called it as law of octave. It is just like our music. We know that there are 7 notes: sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni. Eighth note sa is very much similar to the first note sa. In the same manner, when you start from lithium and go ahead, eighth element from lithium is sodium. Sodium behaves just like lithium. If you want, you can even start from beryllium. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Eighth element magnesium is behaving similar to beryllium. And the story goes on with other elements. If I take the next row, when I start from sodium, move to chlorine, next eighth element is potassium. Potassium is behaving very much similar to sodium. But this approach also had a limitation. That is, it was applicable only for lighter elements up to calcium. After calcium, every eighth element did not show the properties similar to that of the first element. Breakthrough in the work related to periodic table came from the scientist Mendeleev. The periodic law as we know today owes its development to the Russian chemist Mendeleev and the German chemist Lothar Meyer. Working independently, both the chemists in 1869 proposed that on arranging the elements in the increasing order of their atomic weights, similarities appear in physical and chemical properties at regular intervals. Though both Mendeleev and Lothar Meyer came with the same idea, Mendeleev became more famous than Lothar Meyer because he was more systematic in his presentation. Mendeleev's periodic law states properties of elements are a periodic function of their atomic masses. Key points in Mendeleev's works are: importance was given to similarities in chemical and physical properties than atomic weights, meaning if chemical and physical properties related experiments are giving one arrangement and if atomic weights are giving exactly reverse arrangements, in the periodic table, he always considered chemical and physical properties related arrangement over atomic weights arrangement. He observed that change in atomic weights is not regular and there are few elements which do not fit into the classification if the order of atomic weight was strictly followed. We will see all these points in detail in the next slide. He even proposed that some of the elements were still undiscovered and therefore left several gaps in his table. Few examples: he left one place down to aluminium and named that element as Eka aluminium. Word Eka is taken from Sanskrit meaning one. Today we know that Eka aluminium is nothing but gallium. In the same manner, another place he left down to silicon and called that element as Eka silicon. Today that is nothing but germanium. This is Mendeleev's periodic table. Let us consider elements aluminium and silicon. If we observe their atomic weights, aluminium is having 29.98 as its atomic mass and silicon is having 28.09 as its atomic mass. But Mendeleev placed aluminium prior to silicon because aluminium behavior was similar to that of boron and silicon behavior was similar to that of carbon. This is what he meant. Physical and chemical properties were given more importance than atomic weight. We can see the same similar kind of arrangement even between vanadium and chromium and between tellurium and iodine. Also, observe he has left two empty spaces down to aluminium and silicon for the elements which were not discovered at that time. Since this element which was unknown at that time is one place below aluminium, he called this element as Eka aluminium. Similarly, this is Eka silicon. Today we know Eka aluminium is nothing but gallium and Eka silicon is nothing but germanium. We can see in Mendeleev's periodic table there are 6 horizontal rows which he called as periods. There are 8 vertical columns which he called as groups. From group 1 to 7 we can see that there are 2 subgroups in every group. In group 8 we can see there are 3 elements in it. Summary of Mendeleev's work. Mendeleev's periodic table accommodated 63 elements known at that time. It contains 6 horizontal rows called as periods and 8 vertical columns called as groups. Group 1 to 7 had 2 subgroups called as A and B. Group 8 had 3 elements in them. Elements having similar properties were placed in the same group.